Welcome back to the channel. Today is a great day to discuss our favorite troublemakers of Genoa. The plot is full of drama as Noah and Sharon discover the entire dark scheme that Matt orchestrated. They're really curious to see who's behind all the cover-ups for Matt's actions. Let's get straight to the point because I have so much to say and can't hold it in any longer. Oh my god, I'm screaming. I literally cannot even deal right now. Okay, listen. You guys know I have been following this Matt Clark amnesia storyline religiously, and I am actually losing my mind over it. I was eating dinner and literally choked on my pasta when I saw what Noah Newman is pulling right now. I had to pause my TV, put my fork down, and text my friend immediately because the audacity of this entire family is just off the charts. I am so emotionally invested. I feel like these are my actual real-life friends making the absolute worst decisions possible, and I am personally offended by their choices. And don't even get me started on Matt. Is he faking? Is he actually a shy, innocent baby now? I am yelling at my screen. I literally yelled so loud my dog started barking. It is so dramatic, and I am here for every single second of it. Oh wait, before that happened, actually, let me back up because I keep remembering things out of order. So Matt Clark is currently claiming he has total amnesia, right? He got hit on the head in the desert by Sienna, and now his brain is basically a blank slate. And everyone is like, oh poor Matt, he doesn't remember being a literal psychopath who tortured the Newman family. Honestly, I am so offended by his face right now. He sits there looking like a lost puppy with these big confused eyes, and I'm like, do not fall for it. This is the man who blew up a building. This is the man who pumped Nick full of drugs. But Noah is not having it. Noah is actually my hero right now. Also, he is acting completely unhinged. Noah is literally taking matters into his own hands because he wants justice. Which is insane, by the way, because Noah's idea of justice involves literal psychological warfare. Okay, so Noah literally built an exact replica of the Shadow Room. Yes, you heard me correctly, the Shadow Room. The underground club from Los Angeles where Matt and Sienna used to hang out and do all their shady business. Noah secretly constructed a carbon copy of it right here in Genoa City. My jaw dropped. I was like, are you serious? Where did he even get the funding for that? Actually, he's a Newman. He probably just swiped a black card, whatever. But seriously, the dedication to revenge is iconic. Noah is like, if this guy won't remember his crimes, I am going to forcibly trigger his memories by trapping him in a simulation of his past. The audacity, I can't breathe, I am dead. He literally hired contractors to build a fake nightclub just to mess with the guy's amnesiac brain. That is serial killer behavior from Noah, honestly. And here comes Sharon, sweet, empathetic, therapist mode Sharon. She is brought into this mess, and she is having a full-blown moral crisis. At this point, I'm yelling at my screen, Sharon. He literally tortured your family. He locked you in a basement. But she is looking at Matt and seeing this timid, confused guy who doesn't even know his own name. Sharon is literally struggling with the ultimate ethical dilemma right now. She's like, if we force him to remember, what if we just wake up the monster? What if we are literally resurrecting the devil? She needs to get it together, I swear, but also she has a point. If Matt is genuinely a blank slate, is it fair to punish this new innocent version of him for things old Matt did? It's like punishing a newborn baby for the sins of a past life. It's so messed up. Wait, did I already say that? Whatever. Anyway, Noah is putting so much pressure on Sharon. He is relentlessly pushing this agenda. Noah is like, Mom, he has to pay for what he did to us, to Nick, to everyone. Noah is acting like a true Newman right now, completely ruthless and cold. He brings Sienna to the replica club too, which is just so messy and toxic. Sienna is terrified, obviously, because walking into a fake version of your traumatic past is literal nightmare fuel. Noah tries to gaslight her into thinking it's fine, saying he wants to replace her bad memories with good ones. I was like, NOAH, that is not how trauma works. You cannot just paint over a haunted house and call it a day. Sienna is shaking, she feels so uneasy, and I am just sitting here like, someone saved this poor girl from the Newmans. Okay, where was I? Right. So Victor, we absolutely cannot forget Victor Newman in all of this chaos. Victor is playing his own twisted game, as always. He literally locked Matt in the private gym at the Newman Ranch. Just locked him in there like a timeout for a serial killer. Matt is in there punching a heavy bag, crying, wondering who he is. It's almost sad. I almost felt bad for him for a split second, and then I remembered he's a monster and I snapped out of it. Victor is so controlling, I can't even deal. He is keeping Matt on the property to protect Nick, but also to control the narrative because Victor always has to be the puppet master. And then Victor has this intense, emotionally charged sit down with Nick. Victor gives Nick some extremely blunt advice. Nick is a total mess right now, dealing with his fentanyl addiction, which is a whole other tragedy that makes me want to literally sob my eyes out, and he just wants to get his hands on Matt. Victor is like, Matt is safe on the property, that's all you need to know, but Nick is not having it. He is pacing, he is sweating, he is losing his mind. Victor finally agrees to let Nick confront Matt, but only if Nick promises to go to rehab immediately after. I was literally cheering for Victor in that moment. Mark my words, Nick going to rehab is the only way this doesn't end badly. Nick has lost everything to this addiction that Matt forced on him, and it's just so heartbreaking to watch. So Nick gets the green light. He marches down to that gym to confront the man who literally ruined his life and fueled his addiction. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. I was holding my breath. Nick gets right up in Matt's face, looking deep into his eyes, looking for any sign of the smug, evil, calculating Matt Clark we all know and hate, and you guys. Nick realizes the amnesia is real. He looks into Matt's eyes and sees absolutely nothing, just a void. Just a confused, terrified guy who doesn't know why this angry billionaire is screaming at him. My jaw was literally on the floor. If Nick Newman, who hates Matt more than anyone on this planet, believes the amnesia is real, then it must be real. Right. I don't even know what to believe anymore. But Noah doesn't care. Noah is like a dog with a bone. He is absolutely not letting this go, so Nick actually agrees to help Noah with this insane shadow room plan. Nick picks Matt up from the ranch and drives him to this secret replica club. Imagine being Matt right now. You have no idea who you are, you're locked in a gym, you're crying over a punching bag. And then the guy who wants to kill you puts you in a car and drives you to a fake nightclub in the middle of nowhere. I would literally pass out. I was eating my garlic bread during this scene, and I was so stressed I couldn't even chew. I just sat there staring at the screen like a weirdo. They walk Matt into the shadow room replica. At first, Matt is just looking around like, what is this place? Why are we here? He doesn't recognize it at all. Noah is probably sweating, thinking his expensive revenge project is a massive flop. But then it happens. Matt freezes. He starts getting these intense, fragmented flashes of memory. He sees Nick, Sharon, Sienna, Noah, and Victor all standing at the bar. The editing in this scene was so dramatic, with the flashing lights and the intense music and the quick cuts. Matt looks incredibly restless and panicked. He is clutching his head, pacing around, looking like he's about to jump out of his own skin. At this point, I'm literally pacing around my living room. Is he faking it? Is he pretending to remember, or pretending not to remember, or is it actually all coming back to him? Noah sees Matt freaking out, and Noah is looking so satisfied. Like, yes, the monster is waking up. My plan worked, but Sharon is looking on with pure, unadulterated terror. Because if Matt remembers everything, he is going to remember how to destroy them. He is going to remember all his codes, all his plans, all his hatred. I'm calling it now. This is going to backfire so badly. You do not poke a sleeping bear, especially when the bear is a psychotic mastermind who knows how to build bombs. And don't even get me started on the psychological torture of it all. Noah is literally playing God with Matt's brain. He wants Matt to remember so he can face justice, but like Sharon said, punishing the shy, clueless version of Matt feels weirdly wrong. It's like punishing a toddler for something they did in a past life. Not okay. But then again, it's Matt Clark. He deserves to rot in a cell for the rest of his life for what he did to Nick. I am so conflicted. I am literally arguing with myself in my head. Why would Noah do that without thinking of the consequences? He needs to get it together, I swear. He is letting his trauma turn him into the exact kind of monster he is trying to fight. I forgot to mention earlier, Sienna's reaction to all this is just heartbreaking, and honestly she is the only one with any common sense. She knows exactly what Matt is capable of. She literally hit him over the head with a rock in the desert to stop him from killing them. And now Noah is trying to reboot Matt's brain like a broken computer. Sienna is begging them to stop. She's like, if he gets his memories back, he's going to come after all of us with a vengeance. And honestly, she is the only one making any sense right now. I am so Team Sienna on this. Noah is blinded by revenge, and it's actually so toxic and dangerous. I also just have to say, the whole dynamic between Nick and Victor right now is giving me whiplash. 1 minute Victor is the cold, calculating CEO, and the next he is this fiercely protective dad, who just wants to save his son from a drug addiction. When Victor looked at Nick and told him he had to go to rehab, you could see the pain in Victor's eyes. It was actually surprisingly emotional. I didn't expect to be crying over Victor Newman today, but here we are. And Nick, who is usually so independent and stubborn, just looking so defeated, it breaks my heart. Matt did this to him. Matt broke the great Nick Newman, and that is exactly why Noah is going to such extreme lengths. Noah is watching his dad crumble, and he is directing all that pain into this bizarre shadow room project. And let's talk about the aesthetic of this replica club for a second, because I am still not over it. Noah didn't just build a room, he built an experience. The neon lights, the exact layout of the bar, the weird creepy vibe of the original shadow room in LA, it's all there. He probably even pumped in the same cheap cologne smell, honestly. When Matt walked in, the way the camera panned around the room, making it look all distorted and scary, it was literally like a horror movie. You could see Matt's brain short-circuiting. The visual of Matt standing there, clutching his head while the neon lights flickered. Chef's kiss, the Y&R set designers deserve an Emmy for that alone. But seriously, the psychology of it is wild. Noah is basically performing an unlicensed exposure therapy session on a dangerous criminal. Okay, wait, did I mention how Sharon is handling this? Because as a therapist, she knows this is highly unethical. She is standing in this fake club, watching her son torture a man with amnesia, and you can see the conflict tearing her apart. She wants justice for Nick just as much as Noah does, but she also took an oath to do no harm. And right now, Noah is doing a lot of harm to Matt's fragile psyche. I honestly think Sharon is going to pull the plug on this whole operation. She is going to step in and say enough is enough before Matt completely snaps. Because if Matt's memories fully return, he's not going to be like, oh, my bad, I'll go to jail now. No. He is going to start plotting his escape and his next revenge. Honestly, I just can't wait for the next episode. I am literally counting down the minutes on my watch. Will Matt fully snap back into his evil persona? Will he pretend to still have amnesia while secretly plotting against them? That would be iconic, honestly. A total thriller movie plot. I am fully obsessed. I just know Nick is going to lose his mind if Matt starts acting smug again, and Victor. Victor is going to be so mad that Noah pulled this stunt and risked everything. The Newman family dinners are going to be so awkward after this. Like, past us all. And by the way, sorry I resurrected our greatest enemy. Anyway, I seriously need to go drink some water because I have been rambling for so long my throat hurts. But I just had to get all these thoughts out before I exploded. This storyline is literally the best thing on TV right now, and if you aren't watching, you are missing out on peak television. I am going to be refreshing my feed all night waiting for spoilers for next week. If Matt gets his memory back and attacks someone, I am going to lose it. My heart is literally racing. This show is going to put me in an early grave, I swear. But I can't stop watching. The drama is just good. Noah's unhinged replica club, Sharon's moral crisis, Victor's tough love, Nick's realization, and Matt's terrifying memory flashes. It is absolute cinema. I am done. I can't breathe. Let me know what you guys think, because I am bursting with theories. Mark my words, someone is going to get hurt before this is over. I am calling it right now. This ends in tears.